Hi, this is Mark Laughlin with the Ambidextral Gunfighter to do a review of the Umarex AirSoft pistol. This one's modeled after the Walther PPQ M1 Classic. Well, if you've seen my other reviews, you know, of course, the Walther PPQ M1 Classic is one of my favorite, if not my all-time favorite, ambidextral gunfighter pistol. With its excellent trigger, the fully ambidextrous paddle magazine release, as well as excellent and perfectly mirrored slide releases. This is definitely one of my top favorite all-time ambidextral gunfighter pistols. For practicing, when I want to practice in the backyard, now we have a Airsoft PPQ M1 Classic. Definitely looks a whole lot like the PPQ M1 Classic. It has the paddle magazine release, just like the actual. Here's a real PPQ M1 Classic. So it has the exact same paddle magazine release. Very similar trigger, has the safety embedded in the trigger. The shape is identical. Overall length, height, everything is the same. It looks the same. But even the magazines are interchangeable. The real magazine will actually fit in the Airsoft pistol. It doesn't actually lock in place because the retention for the magazine is up higher than on the real one. Of course, the big difference is the weight. This is a very, very lightweight plastic. It's all plastic slide. And okay, let's put them both on the scale. We've got the real life Walther PPQ M1 Classic here, and we put that on the scale, and it is 24.1 ounces. And if we put this Airsoft, it's a Spring Air Airsoft pistol on the scale, it is 8.2 ounces. So we definitely save a lot of weight by going with the Airsoft pistol. Now the magazines are kind of interesting. They have like a compartment, two compartments, and they got one compartment's kind of a bulk storage where you just open the door here and you dump the little airsoft pellets in there, airsoft BBs, and then close the door, and then you just pull the spring back on the magazine, and you set it on its side and shake it, and from that main compartment it fills up looks like a double stack magazine. So, and I think it holds like 15 rounds, so it's kind of legitimate that it actually holds the same amount of rounds. But although the magazine compartment can hold a lot more, I think about 80. Now, of course, the velocity out of this is about 300 feet per second, so not a lot of kinetic energy. It feels, as far as the shape, feels identical to a real PPQ M1 Classic. Of course, being a lot lighter, it in a way it doesn't feel, but the balance is pretty good. It kind of actually feels like I can toss it back and forth very similar like I can with the real PPQ from left to right hand. Now, of course, I got this to learn to practice running drills left and right handed. It's something you shoot at like little styrofoam cups is great for it. And while the magazine release is fully ambidextrous, just like the real thing, the slide release, alas, is not. It has a slide release on the right hand side for shooting left-handed, but it is just fake. It's not really doing anything. The only slide release that actually works is the one that's for right-handed, but it does work and the shape of it feels very similar, you know, pretty much identical to the real thing, Walther PPQ M1 Classic. It's got a very slack take up. There's almost no resistance for the take up to hit the wall, and then a very clean break, maybe 5.5 pounds. So, but there is no reset. There's nothing like that. If you hold the trigger back and cock it, it doesn't do anything. So you have to release the trigger and then cycle the slide to re-engage it. It's, you know, really cheap. You can get it on Amazon for, I think it was like 20 bucks or something. It wasn't very much at all. It feels like it feels kind of light, like maybe it could break easy, but I probably put maybe 200 or 300 rounds through it, and so far it's held up, and it's pretty fun. As you can shoot it in the backyard, or, you know, if you're careful, you can shoot it inside your house if you have like a little pellet trap to capture them, because they are moving 300 feet per second. So if you were to shoot this without eye protection inside, and it could bounce off the wall and poke your eye out. Comes with a nice little operator's manual, and it's kind of really cool because it's actually apparently a Walther like authorized product, so I guess that explains why it's the accurate representation. You know, it's not I've had other airsoft pistols before that were that used the green gas, which I basically fill with a little propane tank, and those are really cool because every time you fired a shot, the gas would actually operate the slide, and the weight felt identical to a real version of the pistol. So it's kind of cool to have an airsoft pistol that, you know, actually had the weight and the slide worked. With this one, you have to rack the slide each time you fire it, so it's kind of like using the laser on when I use the eye target laser on the real thing. So anyway, it's a neat little tool for practice with a little bit of, you know, get a little bit of reactive, you know, at least get some reaction on your target. Little styrofoam cups are great because they make a nice little pop when they get hit. And so yeah, it's all good fun for backyard. Good way to introduce new shooters and you know, young kids to shooting. They can learn to manipulate the controls on this before you move them up to a real firearm. Pretty fun little gun. For the cost of a box of ammo, you got something you can blast around with styrofoam cups in the backyard. It's Mark Laughlin with Ambidextral Gunfighter. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.